Hi. So, a number of people I love, several different families, um, had their lives interrupted by catastrophe this past week. So, um, there's been a lot of texting back and forth and calling and support and love and sadness. And I've noticed across the board that folks are, people are suffering with catastrophic grief and are watching the futures that they envisioned for themselves just evaporate. So when that happens in our lives, it's life-changing, obviously. And in the moments of it happening and right after, and these bizarre moments of this thing happening, and then you not knowing how to basically go from moment to moment in the day, because there's really not a playbook for that kind of thing. So I found myself today sending a very similar message over and over to a number of people. A few things. First, that whatever is happening in terms of their emotions is going to be reflected in their bodies. And so I sent some information about polyvagal theory. So stay with me, because I know that sometimes people are not excited to hear, the word theory. But I've curated a little playlist that I will link. And I really recommend you take a look at it, because there are a couple of videos that describe the background, enough of the background to serve our purposes. And basically, the playlist is full of very, very short exercises, breathing exercises specifically, that we can do to help bring our bodies from this sort of primal, traumatic, chaotic feeling response, which is, your fight, flight, flee, fawn response, and bring to the extent possible, and try to bring your body into the sort of they call rest and digest mode. Bring yourself to a state where you can basically not feel the sensations of extreme anxiety, heart racing, nausea, overwhelm, shaking, fatigue, all the things that go along with the kind of cascade of emotions that go through your body when something big goes on. So I really, really recommend this playlist. And I also recommend, quickly, I recommend this process that I use for myself, and then I like to teach to clients called the 4Bs, and the 4Bs stand for breath, body, behavior, and beliefs and behavior. So when you have something catastrophic going on, it can just feel like chaos in your body. And a way to ground yourself and help yourself not feel like you're absolutely floating, untethered, is to return to your breath. It's sometimes hard to think about breathing. In the midst of a pandemic, a respiratory related pandemic, and I absolutely appreciate that. If you are able to access your breath, access some attention to your breath, just spend some time with your breath. Just notice it. The work here is to help bring yourself back to yourself after you've gone into this zone of grief, disbelief. Wherever we go when we blank out from the sheer surreal nature of the thing. When we snap back from that and feel untethered, come to our breath as a way to ground ourselves. And the only work here is to notice pace, location, duration. Is it in your chest? Is it in your belly? That's it, just notice. And then after that, you'll be noticing some bodily sensations. I don't need to tell you that you're gonna be noticing those because you're already probably experiencing them. Anything related to an anxiety response, crushing weight, heart racing, nausea, sweating, sleeplessness, oversleeping, inability to eat, overeating, all of those things are happening in your body. Your job only is to notice them. You don't have to fix it. You can fix it. Your body is doing its thing to respond, right, to the emotion of the situation. So you're going to notice your breath, and you're just going to notice your sensations in your body. If you don't know how to notice the sensations in your body, start with your toes and just scan yourself upwards and just notice. If you think this sounds insane, I understand that. This is a way to bring yourself back into yourself and help separate yourself from the just experiencing the pain. You're now noticing your experience of the pain. And that mere removal of yourself from within it to the role of the observer can help to change your experience of it, if for a moment. So after you've paid attention to your body, you want to start just noticing what's running through your head. Are you having catastrophic thoughts? Is there a loop running? Just notice what's going through your head. Whatever's going through your head is going through your head. Just notice it. And notice what those thoughts are sort of driving you to want to do or compelling you to do. And that's the last step, to notice your behavior. So this noticing of behavior is a really important part. You're not going to get to this step every time. When a meteor hits your life, sometimes all you can manage is breathing from moment to moment. You're not going to get to analyzing, what kind of trouble am I going to get myself into? you're existing from moment to moment. But once you're able to help yourself in ways that you would normally help yourself when you're in pain, that's when we need to notice our behaviors, because we're going to tend towards our habits, and some of our habits are great and some of them are not going to be great. And this is where grief, these waters, how do I manage this pain? I would do anything not to feel this. The attempts not to feel this are the ways that we wind up self-destructing. It's not always gonna feel this bad. But until it doesn't, we have to get there. And the moment to moment support is not something that I think we're very good at understanding in society. Like, when that meteor hits your life, what are you supposed to do when you wake up in the morning? When it's this big, when it's that big, you breathe. You're paying attention to your body. Your body will tell you what to do. Get a drink of water. Okay, that's your job. Get your drink of water. Go back to bed if you need to do that. Your body will tell you. You don't need to do much of anything except pay attention to that. So I hope that is somewhat helpful. It seems like not enough. It seems like throwing like a water balloon on a house fire. But that's what we have. And I'll just be here hoping to be able to offer more about the ways that we can help ourselves manage through the most difficult things some of us have ever managed. So thank you for staying with me. I'll link some resources below, and I will make some more videos that hopefully will help us all along. Okay. I love you all.